Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. I got a guest out of California today that spent over 23 years of his life in prison. His name's Dennis. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up. You know what our mission is: to save kids from life imprisonment and premature death through our stories and our experiences. Dennis, tell the people about yourself. Tell them who you are, where you're from, man, how much time you did, and how you ended up in prison.
My name's Dennis. California, Northern California. I come from a good family. My dad was a judge. My brother was a lawyer, but I just didn't get the attention. And so I acted out at an early age to get attention. And I ended up going to California Youth Authority. I started there. And from there, I got a lot of attention. And I thought, man, this is the shit, you know what I mean? And from California Youth Authority, I ended up going to prison because of a racial thing inside of prison with a history teacher that wouldn't talk about anything but his people, so I ended up attacking him, you know? And I thought I was cool. I thought it was a cool thing to do. If that makes sense, you know?
How old were you? How old were you when that happened?
I was 17 when that happened, and when I turned 18, they sent me to prison as an adult, you know what I mean?
What was your first prison over there in California?
My first prison was Soledad Central. Well, I went to DVI, the reception center, you know. I went to Soledad Central, E-Wing, where they wanted to call associates of the certain members, you know. During that time, I went to Old Folsom, New Folsom. I've been all of them places. And I thought it was cool because I got all the attention I wanted, you know what I mean? And I handled mine and I got mine, you know? And I thought, man, this is a ding dang. And I got out. Oh, after 8 years, I thought, you know, I got out. I was married to a different lady at the time. And I got out and she didn't care what I did, so I ran amok, you know what I mean? And ended up going back to prison in 9 weeks. I scouted to Montana, state of Montana, and I did three burglary crimes and one felony theft. And the judge broke me off a 50-year term and a dangerous offender to society. And he looked at me, he goes, I don't like your affiliations with the Aryan, you know, and I said, well, you know what? Check this one out. I don't like your affiliations, and I was so mad at the world. I wrote them threatening letters every week. I was going to kill their family. I was so mad. You know what I mean? Because a child molester in front of me got 12 years. Well, make a long story short, when we got to prison, I ended up stabbing that child molester 9 times in his neck, trying to kill him because I don't like sex offenders or, you know what I mean? I was that dude. You know what I mean? Blah blah. They ended up sending me out of state because Montana State Prison got too many sex offenders or whatever inside there. So they sent me to Ely, Nevada. The super maximum they got down there, phase 1, you know? And we were down there on HRP, high risk prisoner. And somehow I hooked up with a female correction officer that was in there. She'd come to my door every day to bring me breakfast or whatever. And I ended up pulling her, you know what I mean? I had her bring me whatever I wanted inside. I was that guy, you know what I mean? I took care of my brothers, the never went without anything. I was that guy. And Nevada has a thing, I don't know if we can discuss this, but they are like Aryan warriors inside the prison, you know what I mean? And they were at kind of conflict with the Aryan Brotherhood in California because of politics, you know what I mean? But they respected me so much that they gave me the keys to my unit that I was on, you know what I mean? And I ended up getting told on by this Cuban guy for this female coming in my cell with no handcuffs on or whatever. Make a long story short, she brought me some gunpowder in, and I made a bomb out of half of a toothbrush holder and zipper parts and pins, heads, and hickory. We got Hickory Farms cheese for Christmas. And I used the wax off the cheese and put it in there to pack it. and I took the dolly from the phone dolly, got all the phone cord off it, made a big old line, and sewed it inside the sheet. And 1 o'clock in the morning, I called him down to his door. I said, Blanco, I got a package down here, man, for you. I'm not tripping on you, dog. And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I should never said nothing, blah, blah, blah. I said, man, just send your light out, homeboy, man. I got something for you. And he sent his line out. And he pulled it in. The cheer was like, you know how a cheer is, like a L.
Yeah.
And my partner was on the other side. So when the guy pulled it under his door, he flashed his light so I could know that it was under his door. And I plugged it in. Then it blowing his fingers off, blew up on his nutsack and his stomach. He learned how to talk English real good. they pulled him out of his room and said, the bag over his hand with his fingers in the bag. And they said, man, white boy got me good. And I was in bed like I was asleep, I don't know nothing.
So let me ask you a little bit about that, because man, this is the first time that I've done a lot of time myself and been around some dangerous dudes, but man, you made a bomb in prison. What did they try to charge you? What ended up happening after that happened?
Okay, next morning, they came to my cell and told me to hook up. You know what I mean? And I played it off like I was in bed. I'm like, man, I don't want no breakfast. I'm good. Get off my door.
Yeah.
That's why I know I'm in the shower somehow. I peed all over myself. They got that big electrical shield they come in there with, and they got me. And my homeboy was next to me. Make a long story short, yes, the HCF came in, and they were investigating. And they had 5 of my partners locked up behind it too, right? And so when they called me in there, I told them, the detective, the HCF guy, I said, man, I know everything that happened. And they said, really, what is that? I said, man, I can tell you everything you want to know. And they said, man, take his handcuffs off, give him a cigarette. They took it off, and I said, yeah, I did it, motherfucker. How you like me now? I'll do it again. Right? Oh, they were mad. The warden was mad. Everybody's mad. But I had to get my homeboys out of the equation, you know what I mean? Because they didn't do it. It was me and him,
Yeah. And
so they got out of the hole, and I went to court. And during that time during court, it was like October 1996. I was in the SHU program, right? And you should know you only get like 1 phone call a month. That's just calling your attorney. So I asked them for the telephone, which was cordless phones now, because they don't want the wire on there no more. But I tried all my numbers, they didn't work. But my grandma's worked somehow. And I don't tell too many people this story, right? And she told me, I'm glad you called, because I ain't feeling too good. Your uncle's going to take me to the hospital tonight. I said, all right, I hope you feel better. Everything's good here, don't worry about me. I'm doing all right, Next morning, SWAT come down and get me, and I'm like, where am I going? They said, you're going up front, man. And I thought it was for video court for, doing this thing, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And we were walking up there, and one of them was being a jerk, and goes, you're going to find out anyway, man, your grandma died last night. So I believe a higher power somewhere gave me that 1 phone call to my grandma, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up right then, you know what I'm saying? I cut the outside world loose. I didn't talk to nobody on the outside world for like 5 years, I fought cops every day I could. I tried to get them, pull them in my push lot, break their arms. I was mad at the world. And somehow one day it clicked in my head. Man, my grandma would really be disappointed in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I stepped back. And I was that dude, my friend, that I'd come on the chair, handcuffs, go to the shower, and all my people would just yell, kick the door, you know what I mean? I was that guy down there, you know what I mean? I just didn't give a fuck. And, but something clicked, man. I don't know what it was, mentality or something grew up inside me. I got to start respecting life. You know what I mean? Because this is stupid. What am I doing? You know what I mean? I had guys walk by my cell, and you know how you can pop your food slot open, and I reach out and stab them in the kidneys, you know what I mean? I've done it all, you know what I mean? And the wardens even pulled me out and told me, man, can you please calm down a little bit? You know what I mean?
So you were...
I was going to court. And the Frankie Sue Del Papa, the deputy attorney general down there, or the attorney general for the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm going to give you life without possibility of parole on the Big Habitual Act. And I was still in that. I told her, I said, I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? Handle your business. This is my home. I don't care, man, And so I still had that attitude, but you know what I mean? I had to throw that front up to them. You can never show weakness to them, you know what I mean? Make a long story short, they called the victim to stand. His people said if you testify against him, we're going to kill you. So he changed the story at the witness stand. Everybody got mad in the courtroom, blah, blah, blah. The judge had sent him back to Montana. And I told the judge, how does it feel to let a guilty man go? Peace out. They sent me to Montana, and I started backing away from everybody. Started going to classes. I got my GED. You know what I mean? Like in 2000, what was it? 2015, I got a GED. I'm 54 years old now, you know what I mean? I was going to classes for cumulative dependency, for anger management, you know? And the DA that put me in prison came down to talk to me, asked me if he could come talk to me. I said, out there, come down, what do you got to say? He came down to see me, and he goes, man, me and the judge talked, and we didn't expect this to happen to you. And I said, what do you fucking think's going to happen to me? This is all I know, man. I don't know nothing else but this, you know? He goes, man, you continue to do what you're doing for the next 5 years. When your hearing comes up, I'm going to go and recommend you get out. And that was like 4 years ago. That man kept his word. I don't talk to him. He don't talk to me. We're not friends or nothing, you know what I mean? But I'm keeping my word and respecting my grandma, and I'm doing the right thing now. You know what I mean? Because I love my avocados, I love my tomatoes, I love my shrimp soup that I just made. You know what I mean?
You're trying to live.
People like you. I love people like you, man, that reach out, man, because you're. I talked to my wife about it last night, man. You bring tears to my eye, man, because you're awesome that you're trying to help these kids. Because these kids need help.
Well, man,
prison ain't cool, man. You know what I mean?
I really appreciate you, right? And I appreciate you coming on the show. And for real, man, for you to start off as a young man that didn't really care about life, didn't care about what you were doing, man, to make bombs in prison, you're stabbing child molesters, and then you turned your life around, right? How did it feel to turn your life around, man? Did you feel better inside?
Oh, it was a little leery, you know what I mean? Because my people that I associate with, I was kind of worried how they would feel about that, you know what I mean? But, you know, my sister is a retired ATF agent. Her team came to investigate the prison bomb that I made in prison. And she wrote me a letter saying, I can't have nothing to do with you, man, because the people you associate with there in prison want to kill people like me. And I wrote her back saying, that's sad you say that, man, because I would never let that happen. 1996. And I talked to my sister since. They told my mom, my brother told my mom, he's a lawyer, he ain't never going to change. He'll be back in prison in 5 months. He'll end up killing somebody out here, blah, blah, blah. It's been 4 years, you know what I mean? And I've been off parole now for 3 years. You know what I mean? And I was a model parolee. They were like, hey, man, we real proud of you. I'm like, I don't give a what you think. I still don't care. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have that. Fuck them, man. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of dirty cops in prison. I don't care what anybody says. They tell you that you're dirt all day long, man. You believe you're dirt. You know what I mean? But I know I'm better than that, man. And I know that inside me, I've been married 3 years come December 6th. You know what I mean? My mom still talks to me. My brother talks to me now. You know what I mean? My sister don't talk to me. You know what I mean? That's fine. I don't care for that. But it feels good inside knowing I could walk down the street now and the individual could bump into me and I don't got to kill him. You know what I mean? I could look at him and say, hey, excuse me. You know what I mean? I hope you have a nice day. And I know in my head, I'd kill you and I didn't care. But I enjoy my freedom. It took me over 6 months when I first got out. I lived in a tote. I would not unpack my stuff. Dang. I lived in a tote. I slept on a couch. I wasn't even sleeping in bed. I slept with the couch against the wall. You know what I mean? I needed that wall next to me. I like my little four corners still. You know what I mean? I mean, I still got that little problem. I like big areas. But it took me a long time to recognize grass and trees and Mexican food restaurants along the interstate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Riding a Harley Davidson.
You know
But I'm not allowed to have because I crashed and I broke my pelvis and all that good stuff. My wife wanted me to have it.
Let me ask you a couple more questions, man. I know you got all them tattoos on your face, right? And being out here in public, do you ever get looks from kids or other people out at the grocery store, things like that?
I sent you an old mugshot of me. I don't know, you swear, I had an old tattoo, I got laser removed that said fuck cops across my forehead. I had a big, you see the picture? I got a picture of a swastika and a lightning bolt tattooed inside of my face. And I went out and I wasn't that person no more, man. I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings, man. For some reason, I don't know what it is. You've been like a long time. Emotions are a new thing for an individual out here. Cause you shut all that shit off inside, man. You know what I mean?
I know.
I went to the laser thing. The lady did it for free for me. I did 9 treatments. And you don't see foot cops no more. You don't see no lightning bolt. And you don't see no swastika. You see that picture I sent you, you know?
Yeah.
I did it for my mom, too. You know what I mean? I wanted to see my mom outside prison and not offend her. She was my biggest fan when I was in prison, you know what I mean? And it feels good, man, because I did go to juvenile hall. I have talked to kids because I was that kid at one time. And when they came to talk to me, I looked at them and said, hey, fuck you, man. I don't give a fuck what you got to say. And that's fine. I mean, that's sad, but it's fine. But I hope somebody hears your program out there because, or hears me or whoever you have on your show, because, man, your freedom is so precious. You know what I mean? There's days I got black and white area. I don't got time for gray area, right? Being married, being free, you got a lot of goddamn gray area out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Excuse my language, there's a lot of gray area. But I embrace it now, and I learn from it, and it gives me strength to be the better person that I am. I've never done a crime since I've been out. You know what I mean? I could buy a 6-pack of beer, and that will last me a month. You know what I mean? Because I don't even care. I'm sheltered from that inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels good to be free, and it makes me sad when you see these kids walk by and think it's cool, like, what's up, what's up? You know what I mean? It ain't cool, man, because when you lose your freedom, it took me, I didn't have sex with a female when I got out for a year. Because I was scared how to approach her, because I'm very highly respectful to women and children. And I didn't want to say the wrong thing. And sex ain't nothing to me. I'll be honest with you, I'll say it right here. Prison fuck, excuse my name, messed me up on that. Because you masturbate, whatever you do every day, whatever in prison, and get your thing, you get out here, to me, man, it's just a bang. I'd rather have a companionship, my best friend, that's there for me, that I trust with my back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she is. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, we fuck around, but I'm just saying, it's not that big a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Prison fucks you up. When I was in prison, you think to yourself, man, I'm going to get out, I'm going to turn this girl out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stud, blah, 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 right? Man, you 23 years to get out, man, you don't give a right ass about getting somebody. Excuse my language, but that's real, man. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you're talking like that, you know what I mean? Because like I said, this show, man, it's real and it's raw, man, and everybody glamorizes, the prisoner, and they think we're the baddest dudes in the world, but they forget that we got emotions, that we got feelings, man, that we ain't dogs, and not all of us, most of us aren't, man. Most of us aren't always, we're balls to the wall because of, the environment that we're in. We have to live that life, and sometimes you got to project an image, man, and the image that you project is always the image that you have to protect. And they don't know what's inside of here, man, and that deep in your heart, man, you do want that companionship. You want to be happy. Those are the things that I want the younger teenagers, man, to realize, homeboy.
I can tell you this, right? That, that it's like in prison I was somebody. I can tell this dude, you need to go kill this dude, I'm going to kill you. You know what I mean? And then you get out and you're a nobody. At first I felt I was a nobody. Because it's too big out here, man. Nobody knows who the hell I am. And they bumping into me, driving by and shit, looking at my tattoos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might have to hurt somebody. But luckily, something told me, man, I went to go see a psychologist on my own. And she had me tell myself every day, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Because you got to get them gears changed, man. Because those cops will put it in your head that you're a piece of crap. You know what I mean? And it's like Silverstein, like your story on Silverstein. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man.
That's a real story right there you had. I watched it today. You know what I mean? He was a good dude. Oh yeah. And like in Montana, man, I mean, prison sucks. Prison ain't what it is on TV. I don't care. I had a guy move in my cell, and you know how you put your paperwork out, and like 4 pages of his was missing, saying he was in a fire or flood or something. I don't know what happened. And I ended up beating this dude half to death. You know what I mean? And it turned out he was a sex offender. You know what I mean? Cops let me do it. They set me up to do it. You know what I mean? They put him in my room for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. But I don't know. But now it's like to the point. I tell my wife, I don't talk to nobody from prison. Anybody I knew in California prison or Montana or Nevada, I don't associate with, man. My homeboy's in Utah right now, Troy Kill on death row for killing a black guy in there. You know what I mean? And I don't even reach out to him. You know what I mean? Because if I do, it draws me back in really bad. You know what I mean?
And where was that, in Nevada?
Troy Kill's from Nevada, but he was transferred to Utah, and then he ended up stabbing that black guy 68 times in his head. You know what I mean?
No, I know the story, man. They got that movie out, that documentary, Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator. Yeah, I know Troy. I got transferred to the state of Utah, Draper, Utah, in 1994 or 2004. Excuse me, 2004, 2008 was. They took me to Utah, and I got there, and Troy sent me out a note, and they got intercepted, right? And then you know, here comes the squad. They come take me to lock up the STG unit and tell me, hey, you ain't never getting out of here. How do you know Troy? They thought I was there to help him sanction the soldier, Aryan culture, or whatever. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, Montana was there within like 15 days, taking me back to Montana. But Utah said, you never come here again. You ain't coming here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't talk to none of the people no more. And it bothers me sometimes, man, because I got that man, I feel for him, man, and my brothers, you know what I mean? But I have to, man, because that's not my life, man. You know what I mean? I'd rather wait. I got congestive heart failure now. I got a pacemaker put in this a year ago. You know what I mean? I got a second chance of life at that. Like I said, I'm married, and I got my freedom, and I got shrimp soup right here I just made. It's really good. You don't get that in prison.
Let me ask you, because I'm familiar with Troy's story, right? Let me ask you a little bit about Troy then. How long were you with Troy for?
I mean, I got transferred to Nevada, Ely, Nevada. Troy and Rabbit were transferred. They were doing that interstate compact thing, moving people around.
Yeah.
Right? Troy and his partner went to, I believe, they went to Boise first, right? I think they went to, Rabbit went to Boise and Troy went to Utah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there was a pact that if we ever got transferred, we were going to kill the first person we could because, you know what I mean? Fuck, we're going to show who we are, right? Not Troy, but my circle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Troy's a different circle than I am, but he is my partner. You know what I'm saying? He's a whole different. He's a Nevada boy.
Troy was a SAC dude, right?
Well, he's really AW from Nevada. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But SAC ain't really SAC. I hate to say this, man. SAC used to be a bunch of white dudes that thought they were bloods on the street. You know what I mean?
Straight assassin crew.
Yeah, you know that group. Yeah, you know that story too, probably. I don't think Troy's anything of that right now. Troy's a smart individual. He won't even talk to you unless you read a book first that he hands you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants you to know your history and everybody else's history. But he'll play chess with you, run him down the stairs when he's out for his little thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not running dogs, but he's my partner. I mean, I know.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I respect it. I know exactly who Troy is, and I'm familiar with SAC, how it started as straight assassin crew and became soldiers of Aryan culture. I'm familiar with that whole gang, man. But listen, yeah, I see it. So, look, man, I mean, you shared a lot of stuff today, man, and I hope that, your story can reflect on some of these young men and even girls. Some of these girls are, they're a little out of control too, homeboy. So, man, I want the kids to understand that, look at you, man, and all the things that you've done in your life. You did all that crazy shit, man, and blowing people up, stabbing people. You met some of the biggest gangsters, the prison system has ever seen. You obviously were one of them gangsters, right? And I don't want to, you mentioned some of the people you were affiliated with. I mean, I know who you are, and I know who you were affiliated with, and you know what though, man? You're living your best life now, man. You're living free.
Right.
And
That's right, I am.
You're retired now, man.
And I might not be happy every day, and I might get in arguments with my wife or whatever behind dumb shit. But at the end of the day, the saying is, at the end of the day, you ain't got to believe in God. You ain't got to believe in none of that stuff. You can believe in a higher power. It could be this can of chew I got. At the end of the day, I'm happy who I am. I know I can look myself in the mirror. My word is still good. And I'm protecting my wife. I'm protecting me, doing the right thing as best I can. And I'm so happy to be free because you know what? I've missed so much. The 23 years I've missed, I see people on cell phones all the time, right? On TV, when you're locked up, watch TV, whatever. They're always on the phones, blah, 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 right? I think, man, people really on the cell phone that much? Man, my wife lives on the cell phone. Let me tell you a story, right? I hate them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's stupid things you miss, man, like going to the beach. My wife took me to the ocean on my birthday 2 years ago. I swam in the ocean for the first time 2 years ago on my birthday. My wife took me there. Ocean Shores. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. That was the best thing. I got pictures of it, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
and
up.
Nothing will ever take that away from me except for when time comes taking me to death. When I die. It's time to go. I ain't scared. Whatever. You know what I mean?
I respect it. Hey, we're gonna get ready to close, right? But I want you to say whatever you want to say to the people, to the viewers. Tell them what you want to say before we take off, man.
I just want to say, man, you can sit there and I can sit here, they can sit there and glamorize the days we did in prison. But you know what? To me, it is my story, but it ain't who I am. It ain't who defines me no more. Prison does not define me, who I am inside. It took me many years to find out who I am, and I'm still learning to this day who I am. You know what I mean? But I know this, man, you might go to jail, the youngsters or whoever's out there and say, I'm cool, man. I beat this dude up, whatever. That don't make you a tough guy. You know what makes you a tough guy? Staying free. Being free and doing the right goddamn thing. Because you know why? Because your freedom, you're important to this world, man. There's a reason you're here. And it's not to be in prison. You know what I'm saying? It's not to be in prison, man, because prison sucks, and I don't care. And if they ever go to prison, I won't talk to them. You know why? Because, hey, you got that choice, man. You know right or wrong. God gave you that choice, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You might be put in a bad home, bad situation, whatever. But man, just count to 10 or something, man. Reach out and touch somebody, man, because your freedom ain't worth it. You just don't realize, man, at a given second, I burglarized a couple churches and a locksmith company and got a 50-year term. You know what I mean? And I've had there in my cell at the corner of my bed. I said, I got two ways to do this. I can hang myself right now, or I can just go and say, fuck it. And I just went and said, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
My grandma died.
until my grandma died. But I'm just telling you, man, your freedom's it, man. And anybody needs you, anybody talk to you, you got my hook. And they can reach out to me, man. You know what I mean? 2 o'clock in the morning, call me. You know what I'm saying, man? Because people, they need a lifers group out here. They need stuff like you're doing, man. Because not too many people give a fuck about us. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
know.
the ones that done it, like you done it, and some people, other people done it, we gotta be there for them, man. And they know being weak shit, whatever. I ain't weak at all, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm there for you, man, because I feel your pain. I've been there.
No
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying? And I hope they make it. I want them to make it, and you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna close.
I respect you a lot.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. We're gonna close the show, man. I want people to know, man, that this is where we bring it real, we bring it raw. And until tomorrow, we're out of here.